clothing from the early Victorian period, late 1830s. But what makes this a mourning? As in a grieving outfit, the black silk scarf that I have draped over my right shoulder. It's called a mourning scarf. 18 inches wide, 3 yards long, and then around my top hat, I have what's called a weeper, which again is an 18-inch band of black silk. And during Victorian funeral processions, the host family used to provide these as favors for all the members of the procession. So wives often hoped that they and their husband might take part in 2 or 3 funeral processions, because then he'd have enough silk for a brand new outfit. Unfortunately, I'm kind of a poor host tonight, only enough to show the flavor. When it was a child's funeral, white silk was worn. Now, before we venture around the corner of the building and go out into the Garrison graveyard, I just want to ask folks, when you think of death and dying and old graveyards, are there any images or any symbol of death and dying graveyards? Skulls. Well, actually, we'll see a couple of skulls on the stones as designs tonight, and I'll also tell you the story of a skeleton that was found by a visitor who was walking on these grounds a few years ago, actually. Anybody else who thinks of something when you think of death and dying in graveyards? Ghosts. We haven't seen too many ghosts yet. No, we have a big crowd here tonight, but we haven't seen any ghosts on the tour. I will mention, if you feel something gray and furry walking around your legs, it might not be a ghost, but there's sometimes a cat from across the street that comes in. I've got one of the symbols of death that I've just pulled out of my pocket here, and I need a brave soul to step forward here and see what we got. You're brave? Come right up there. That's terrific. Step right here in the caution sign, and put your hand out. I promise it won't hurt you, but put your hand out here in the light so people can see. Right a bit higher there, and I'm going to pour a bit of this in there. What do you think I might have in there? Put it right here. Some ashes and a bit of dust. You can pour it back in my hand. Thanks for coming up. We didn't cremate anybody. It's ashes from my fireplace. As it says in the Bible, ashes to ashes and dust to dust. From dust that was created, and to dust thou shalt return. So I guess it doesn't matter who we are in life. This might be the only trait that will leave our existence. But folks, traces of the past can tell a little story. And tonight, by visiting the Garrison graveyard in Annapolis, which is the oldest English graveyard in Nova Scotia, in the next hour, we'll look at about 12 of the stones. I'll try and tell you a bit about the story of Annapolis warrior, to the people buried here. And then by describing the artwork on the stone, reflect a little bit about man's attitude towards death. I'm going to make sure I'm tucked up here. We'll grab our lanterns and go around the corner of the building. And I'll lead you right out towards the Garrison graveyard. I'm just going to go right through the